Budget tracking, time and cost signals. Budget signals that stop a runaway spend. The cost delay radar. The first time you see a small overage on your budget report, it usually feels manageable, until you check it again the next morning and the same line item grew overnight. On productions, that's rarely because everyone suddenly forgot how to spend. It happens because costs and time start moving out of sync, and by the time the final budget gets updated, the damage already hit the schedule. This chapter gives you a simple daily habit you can run without waiting for a monthly reconciliation: the cost delay radar. You'll track the budget signals that predict schedule pain and cost creep early, so you catch the problem when you still have choices. This is for production coordinators supporting the line producer and production management team who need clear, standards-based tracking that holds up when someone asks, "When did this start?" You'll use the same working numbers every day, not a new dashboard every week. The goal stays consistent: turn budget chaos into a short list of watch these lines and act now decisions, before the production burns cash to buy time it no longer has. Your cost delay radar toolkit. What you need to track signals daily: budget status report, BSR, your rolling budget document showing planned versus actual spend by department and line item. Get it from your line producer's budget system or your shared production drive. Make sure it updates at least daily during heavy activity. Production schedule, whole sheet, shooting schedule, your time plan in calendar form, usually by day, scene, and department needs. Keep the latest revision accessible and confirm the dates match the schedule the crew actually works. Time card or labor summary. Export a daily or near real-time summary of labor hours by department, often from payroll or timesheets. Pull it daily. Most teams can export it from their payroll tool or spreadsheet within minutes. Vendor spend log. A running list of invoices paid, or committed, with dates and amounts. Use your accounts payable status report or the finance tracker your production already trusts. Aim for updated daily, not as received. Change log. Production changes. A simple log of approved changes with the date, what changed, and who approved it. Keep it close to the budget tracker so you can link cost moved to time moved. Commitment tracker. A list of money you promised but haven't paid yet: POs, reservations, rentals, booked crew. If you only track paid costs, you will always react late. Commitments show risk early. Spreadsheets or budget tool exports: Excel, Google Sheets, or your budget software export, whatever you already use. Keep one radar sheet or tab that you update daily with the same fields so the signals stay comparable. The cost delay radar, a daily action plan that spots risk early. Use this as a repeatable workflow. Your output should look the same every day: a short list of signals, what changed, and what you will do about it. 1. Lock today's planned baseline for the lines you'll track. Pull the latest budget status report and schedule revision, then confirm you're using the same version for both. Outcome: you avoid chasing yesterday's plan. 2. Pick 10 to 20 budget lines that can actually break the schedule. Choose items tied to time, overtime labor, unit/vehicle rentals, locations, equipment rentals, special effects vendors, overtime meals, courier/transport, and rush fees. Outcome: you stop wasting time watching lines that move slowly and don't drive day-to-day risk. 3. For each tracked line, record 3 numbers: plan to date, actual to date, and forecast to end. Plan to date comes from your schedule, actual to date comes from your BSR or spend log, forecast to end comes from your best current estimate, even if it's rough. Outcome: you create a gap you can measure daily. 4. Calculate the cost gap and write it in plain language. Cost gap equals actual to date plus committed not yet paid, minus plan to date. If the number is negative, write under plan; if it's positive, write over plan. Outcome: you stop arguing about how bad it is, your document says it. 5. Calculate the delay hours for the same lines using your schedule. Delay hours equals days slipped or scenes moved, translated into department impact. If your schedule moves scene 42 from day 4 to day 6, and that scene drives prop truck usage, you mark 2 days of potential delay impact for that prop truck line. Outcome: you connect budget movement to schedule movement. 6. Mark each line with a cost delay status: green, yellow, or red. Use this rule: green, cost gap and delay hours both stay near 0, no meaningful drift; yellow, one moves without the other, cost creep without schedule impact, or schedule impact without cost catch up; red, both move in the same direction, schedule slip plus spending drift. Outcome: you get a visual risk signal without fancy theory. 7. Run a 24-hour trigger check on yellow and red lines only. Ask: did anything change in the last day that explains this drift? Check confirmations, call sheets, vendor communications, overtime approvals, and equipment pickup/return times. Outcome: you link signals to causes you can fix. 8. Update your change log the moment you find the trigger. Add an entry, date, line item affected, what changed, and who approved it, or who requested it. Outcome: you build a clean paper trail for the next budget review and for any client/vendor questions. 9. Propose one corrective action per red line, even if it feels small. Examples that work in real productions: shift a rental return time and reschedule pickup to stop idle days. Cut a day of overtime by moving a non-critical task earlier. Replace a rush vendor with standard turnaround for non-urgent deliverables. Confirm staffing levels for the next 2 days based on the updated call sheet. Outcome: you convert risk into action while options still exist. 10. Reforecast the tracked lines after the corrective action. Update forecast to end using the schedule impact you expect after the fix. Outcome: you test whether your action actually reduces risk or just changes timing. 11. Send a short daily signal note to the line producer and AD team. Include which lines are red, the cost gap trend, the delay hours driver, and the corrective action you're pushing today. Outcome: decision makers see the problem before it spreads. Practical example using Nora 37, coordinator supporting a line producer. Nora notices the equipment rental line for lighting gear moves from green to yellow on the budget tracker. She checks the schedule and sees the crew added a day for pickups because the edit room couldn't release camera selects on time. Instead of waiting for finance updates, Nora marks delay hours for the lighting gear as rising, checks the last 24 hours of equipment confirmations, and logs the change with the date it started. Then she pushes for a tightened pickup window and updates the forecast to end for the next week. That daily signal note helps the line producer decide whether to keep paying idle days or shift work to reduce the rental extension. Takeaway prompt: after you update your radar for today, ask yourself, did I catch the drift because I tracked cost and time together, or did I only spot it after paid invoices posted? The Cost Delay Radar Cheat Sheet, quick reference for daily decisions, key metrics to track, daily for your 10 to 20 lines, cost gap, actual to date plus committed minus plan to date. Delay hours, schedule slip translated into department impact for that line. Cost delay status, green, yellow, red based on cost gap and delay hours moving together. Rules of thumb that keep you fast and accurate: if cost gap rises but delay hours stay flat, investigate approvals and usage first. It often means you're paying for something you haven't earned yet, like extra labor hours or extended rentals without a schedule reason. If delay hours rise but cost gap lags, check for coming invoices and untracked commitments. You might not have paid yet, but the rental extension or vendor time will hit soon. If a line turns red, act the same day. You don't need a perfect plan, pick one change that reduces either overtime or idle time. If X then Y, decision guide: if a line stays yellow for 2 days, escalate the trigger check. You either missed a cause or you need a new corrective action. If you can't find a trigger in 24 hours, verify the baseline versions. Many mystery overages come from mismatched budget revisions or an outdated schedule. If you fix the trigger, update forecast to end immediately. You prove the action worked by showing the end of run number improves, not by hoping it will. Daily closeout question: what will I prevent tomorrow by acting today on the red lines? Table of contents 1. Budget setup that keeps everyone looking at the same numbers 2. Daily paperwork flow: what moves first, what waits 3. The master budget map: line items, departments, and ownership 4. Commitments versus paid: stop reacting late 5. Forecasting basics for coordinators: short term, not fantasy 6. Budget tracking: time and cost signals 7. Vendor tracking that doesn't miss the paper trail 8. Labor tracking that matches the call sheet 9. Change control: log it once, reference it forever 10. Variance notes: write them like a decision tool 11. End of week budget review with action items 12. Wrap-up standards, handoffs, closeout, and lessons learned, action checklist: use this every day. I updated my radar sheet using the latest budget status report and schedule revision. I tracked 10 to 20 lines tied to time risk, labor, rentals, vendors, locations, overtime. I entered cost gap, including commitments for each track line. I entered delay hours using schedule changes for the same lines. I assigned green, yellow, red status based on both cost and time movement. I checked the last 24 hours for triggers on yellow/red lines only. I logged any confirmed change in the change log with date and approver. I proposed one corrective action for each red line and updated forecast to end. I sent a short daily signal note listing red lines, causes, and today's action. When you track cost and time together every day, you stop treating budget issues like history. You start treating them like signals, something you can read early, act on fast, and close out cleanly. That habit carries straight into how you run forecasting and variance notes later in the week.